Let's move on now. US President Joe Biden took stock of the situation following torrential downpour across the northeastern coast due to Hurricane Ida. The total death toll has now crossed 50, with at least 9 deaths reported in Louisiana and 46 in the northeastern states. Several states, including Pennsylvania and New Orleans, witnessed excessive flooding, prompting evacuation processes. New York imposed a state of emergency, citing the conditions as a historic weather event. In his first trip outside Washington, D.C. amid the Afghanistan crisis, President Biden surveyed the affected areas in a helicopter and met with local authorities in Louisiana. Biden promised that he will not leave any community behind and said that there is nothing political about the natural disaster, indicating a bipartisan support between the Republicans and Democrats. Biden is now expected to shift his focus onto the hurricane rescue and rehabilitation efforts, as his approval rating saw a dent after the withdrawal fiasco from Afghanistan.
Things have changed so drastically in terms of the environment. We've already crossed certain thresholds. We can't build back a road, a highway, a bridge, or anything to what it was before. I mean, you've got to build back to what it is now, what's needed now.
Hurricane Ida, which made landfall as a Category 4 storm, left more than 800,000 people in the dark without power. Biden authorized an exchange of around 1.5 million barrels of oil from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve to ExxonMobil. In the wake of the power crisis, the oil industry in the region is now struggling to bounce back from the disaster. Our correspondent Susan Teherani has sent us more details from this latest report in New York. Take a look.
As New York City takes up the daunting task of digging up, assessing damage, and cleaning up, the federal government has promised aid once the damage is assessed. However, that's short term. The loss of life and the enormous damage that this storm left behind has opened up the bigger conversation of whether or not the city's infrastructure can really withstand storms like this one and the change in climate. More and more experts are warning that from California to Louisiana to here in New York City, the recent disasters of the summer really exposed a harsh reality about the United States, that being that it's not ready for the extreme weather that is now becoming more and more frequent with each passing season. Susan Teherani from New York for WION World is One.
WION World is One is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.